everybody, I'm Stu Carter and welcome to Guardians of the Galaxy Week at Atamaii TV. All week we're going to talk about Guardians toys and nothing but Guardians toys. So stand by for a new toy review. Now what I've got here is the Marvel Legends series by Hasbro Toys. These are the high-end action figures. There's some cheaper ones available. The cheap ones will go for about $10. These are more expensive with more accessories for $20 US. There's a series of six characters here, and if you collect all six, and this is the evil part of Hasbro of toys, if you collect all six, you can make one more figure, and we'll talk about that. Let's go through each one in turn. So here's the lineup. First is Rocket Raccoon, and you can see Groot's head here in the package, and there's some serious looking accessories here. We're looking forward to checking that out. Thought to be a very popular character. Drax is in this one, and we've got Iron Man, and we've got Marvel's Nova, and you're probably wondering, wait a minute, Iron Man and Marvel's Nova aren't in the movie? What's going on here? I'm going to tell you about that later, okay? I'll explain. And then we've got Star-Lord, and we've got Gamora. And we're going to talk about Star-Lord and Gamora first, okay? So you ready to get these opened up and check them out? Okay. Here's a look at the back of the box. You get a little bit of a character bio, and then I'll zoom in and it'll show you the character lineup, see, with the names, and then it shows you if you get all of the series, which you have to, and that's why it's evil. You have to get all the series, and then you can make Groot, which is a key character in the show. They don't just put Groot out by himself. You've got to get all these guys. Even two characters that are probably not in the movie. Well, okay. And here's what you see when you get Gamora, pull her out of the package. Not a lot of accessories compared to Star-Lord, but she's got this kind of a kick-and sword kind of device. I'd like to see that see how she uses that in the movie. And it looks like you've got a leg for Groot. All right, well, let's get him out of this plastic. Right, so first here's Gamora, and for your information, the actress who plays Gamora in the movie, Zoe Saldana, you will know her. You might remember her from Uhura in Star Trek, and she was the lady who was like smooching on Spock all the time. But now she's green, so I guess that means that Captain Kirk will kind of want to date her because, you know, Captain Kirk likes green ladies, right? And another interesting thing, Zoe, the actress Zoe Saldana, will be coming soon in movies, in the Avatar movies. So she's going from a green lady to a blue lady. That's very strange. Anyway, a consideration is that these figures are not supplied with display stands, and you can see that her little spindly little feet do not help her to stand up. There are peg holes in her bottoms of her feet. These are hexagonal peg holes. If any of you guys have a supplier for the pins that fit these, please let me know. I would like to collect some of those to help display these. So here's those hexagonal peg holes in the bottoms of her boots, and 14 points of articulation. They've got those good, she's got those good double knee joints. They're very nice, you know, articulate in the ankles, hips, rotate her trunk and shoulders and all that. It's all very good. And here she is holding this sword, spear-like sword, and this thing does not look easy to hold, but I got it in her hand after a fashion. Doesn't really stay in there that well, but it'll be okay. And you might also notice that she's got some detail, and she has sort of a belt holster or accessory pouch of some kind. That's the only other thing that moves. The hair is pretty much fixed, but it's also like a loose piece, you know, added piece to her. Yeah, using this stand, I can put her in kind of a dynamic pose. But you're gonna want to find some of those base plate things to hold her in. And let's have a good close look at her. With a good close look at her face, you can see that the character has some tattoos or tribal markings on her cheeks. Very rugged individual. Also notice the color in the hair. See, it's a multicolored paint application. At least I see a blend of 3 colors in there. Is that what you see? It's a nice look. And you see the details on her chest plate as well. Yeah, Gamora. Okay, so here's what you see when you pull Star-Lord out of the box. First, they'll give you a little sheet here that shows you you bought Star-Lord, and then you can put together Groot if you get all the pieces, fine. And so here's the figure. We'll pull him out of the package. He's got a nice card back there. You can see he's got 2 of these blasters, which are also available from Hasbro Toys, and some kind of an orb device. I don't want to have a spoiler here, but I think it's a plot device in the movie, right? And then he's got what is what I would call a cassette tape deck or a music player of some kind, and some headphones. The guys at Hasbro Toys told me last February that this character likes to listen to 80s rock music, which you guys who read the comics probably already know that, right? And then he's got 2 heads, a normal head. Chuck Pratt is the, Chris Pratt, excuse me, is the, Chris Pratt is the actor, and then he's got a head with his mask, mask on, respirator. Star-Lord, and of course we've got 1 arm for the Groot character. Yeah. Okay, so here's a look at Star-Lord out of the package. He's holding one of his blasters, and he's holding this mysterious orb, which I understand plays a role in the movie. And he does stand up a little bit better than Gamora did because he's got bigger feet. And that's going to work pretty well. And before I forget, I want to remind you, there's a lot more pieces with him, right? All these little pieces, especially this little cassette deck, tape deck thing, and his head and his earphones. I don't know, you find a way to keep this stuff together. You don't want to lose it years from now. When you go to sell this on eBay, you will want all his parts, and then you can make $1 million. Maybe find a little box or put it in the original package. You can put it back in the original box if you have room, and that way you may not lose as many of the pieces parts. But I've got him holding the orb. He's got his mask on, so he's Star-Lord, right? He's not Jason Quill. Well, we know Star-Lord is Jason Quill. Nobody knows who Star-Lord is. That's the joke of the thing. And you can see he's got his big overcoat on. You guys who are into cosplay are going to have a good time trying to find all these pieces. Now, Hasbro is selling a mask, and they're selling like 1 of the blasters separately, although the blaster they're selling is, I think by law, required to be bright colored, and so it's not this gray color. I'm going to try and buy one. I'll show it to you. They're not selling a toy for the orb. You could probably make that, but the jacket, no, look at all the detail on this jacket. Have a good time trying to mimic that. You're going to have to be a good cosplayer. And then he's got this satchel, sort of a sling over bag, very stylish. Have a good time trying to recreate that. You don't have to work on that. The rest of the costume you could probably figure out. Very interesting. Let's get a closer look. A good look at Star-Lord's mask. And it's almost a helmet. He's got like a back strap for this. Unfortunately, the toy from Hasbro does not have this part. They don't make helmets anymore. They don't make full face, full head helmets kind of things. And then you see this sling over bag, which is loose. You could take this off. I'm not going to fiddle with it, but you could. And you see the little clasp, kind of a brass clasp in the front. Interesting. There's the orb deal. Here's one of the blasters. A nice detail on these blasters too. I like that. I like good weapons. And this holds in his hand pretty easy. A lot easier than Gamora's sword fits in her hand. You can see he's got a belt detail here. I'm not going to take his jacket off, but you can see it's just his shirt and trousers underneath. And there's his boots. And like Gamora, and there goes his orb. Again, that's the problem with these small parts. The orb is already skittered across my toy testing lab twice. There's his peg holes in his boots. And he's got some serious details. There's some kicking boots. What the heck? What's on his boots there? Can anyone explain? Has he got jet boots? Is that what that's supposed to be? I don't know. You guys help me out with that. About the same articulation as Gamora. Again, the double knee joints. But because of the jacket, there's a limit to how much he can move arms. Don't quite want to go down close to the body because of the jacket part. And that's okay. Head turns, of course. Let's get the other pieces on so we can see how that looks. Okay, so now I've got Jason Quill's head on. And you see he's wearing his headphones. I would assume they're noise canceling headphones. Those are the best ones. But, and there's the cassette deck. There's no place on his belt to put it. I guess I could kind of slide it underneath the belt, but there's no holster for it. And so he's got to carry it, which is kind of dorky. I mean, nobody carries a music player. They put it on you put it on your belt or something, you know, or in your pocket. Yeah, well, it's all right. Yeah, Jason Quill as Star-Lord. Let's look at both those blasters. Right, so here's Star-Lord with both blaster action, double blasters, ready to fight his way out of any situation. Yeah, those are nice detailed blasters. I like those. And you can go in and you need to be kind of ambidextrous to be able to shoot two-handed like this. I personally am, but I would recommend you just use one at a time. Yeah, Star-Lord. Well, that's my look at Star-Lord and Gamora from the Marvel Legends series, Guardians of the Galaxy. But you better subscribe, you better click that subscribe, you better follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Flickr, because I've got a bunch more Guardians toys to talk about all this week on Guardians Week at Atamaii TV. And so until next time, have a good day.
To kill me, I guess I'm doing okay. I'm lost among the millions, just an empty head filled with the sky. I separated my life between the boring